I've always described yoga as a ladder to the divine. You must do one simple thing. You will know what it means to live with the divine. What you're seeking is not sitting on the mountain or floating on the clouds, it is within you. If it doesn't find expression, you will suffer.
The question is only, will we step forward or will we step backwards? Will we move into our divine possibility or will we step back into our animal past?
I would like to ask you if you could relate an experience of divinity within yourself.
It's like this. The reason why it has not come into everybody's experience is because everybody believes something. The only thing that I have done with myself is, I have remained uneducated. Just the way I was when I was an infant, the same way I am in my mind. Nothing. In the sense, remaining uneducated is not easy. Because from the first day you're born, your parents, your teachers, every adult, pandit, mullah, priest, everybody is trying to teach you something that's not worked in their life. Yes. It's very simple to check whether it's worked in their life or not. Suppose you have a child in your house, 3, 4, 5 years of age. Between you and the child, who is more joyful? Who should be a consultant for life? Miserable ones or joyful ones? So, if you look at those people who are giving you all kinds of advices and teachings, first look at their face, don't listen to their words. If they are really blissed out, you must listen to them. We must know how they got so blissful. If they're miserable, it doesn't matter what big things they are saying, the goddamn things have not worked for them. So the only thing I did with myself is remained uneducated. That means not getting identified with your parentage, with your family, with your religion, with your culture, with the philosophies floating around, with the politics, with stuff happening around you. You can be involved, but you're not identified. Once you're not identified, it is natural for human intelligence to turn inward and find this naturally. But because we have ready-made conclusions, we know where God is, of course, we know His name, we know His wife's name, we know how many children He has, we know His birthday, we know what He likes for His birthday, this is a serious problem. But you don't know a damn thing about yourself. As I already told you, the only and only thing that you can experience is this life is what happens within you. You cannot experience what happens here. You can only experience what happens here. If you see this, you know this only the way it's projected in your mind, isn't it? There is no other way to know it. But belief gives you an outlet from this. If you understand, if you don't believe anything, if you don't disbelieve anything, naturally every human being would have turned inward. Because they believe, they're looking heavenward. If you don't make these conclusions, the nature of human intelligence is, it will naturally understand the seat of your experiences within you. If you… right now, the way you're seeing the world is, your mind is like a mirror, it is reflecting all this. You're not seeing it here, you're seeing it within. So this mirror is showing you everything. Don't believe it is a plain mirror, many distortions, but still it is showing things. but it never shows you who you are. You can see this one and this one and that one and that one and that one, but you cannot see this one because this one is behind the mirror. You must do one simple thing. I don't know if you will attempt this, but you try this. If you pay attention, right now you're sitting, sitting for 2 hours already, this is happening. When you stand up, a certain pleasantness spreads through you, not the relief of the muscles. Something deeper if you notice, a certain pleasantness happens. Or you've been standing for a long time, you sit down, a certain pleasantness happens. Or let's say you've been thirsty, you drink a glass of water, not the coolness of water, not the thirst going away, much deeper down a pleasantness happens. You lie down in your bed after a full day, you will see a certain pleasantness spreads through you. You wake up in the morning, certain pleasantness spreads through you. Because you're in a constant state, as I said, mental diarrhea, you don't notice anything. I'm saying pay little attention. Today, when you go home for dinner, wherever you go for dinner, you're a young girl, so I leave it to you. Wherever you go for dinner, don't eat till you're really hungry. Then food comes, wait. You really want to eat right now, just wait for 2 minutes, just look at the food, wait, then slowly eat. When the food goes into you, you will see the entire body responds in a certain way, certain pleasantness spreads through you. You keep paying attention to this. Right now, it's not that you're completely ignorant of this, but generally most people don't stay with this pleasantness for more than 2 to 3 seconds. You manage to stay there, let's say 12 to 15 seconds. Within a few days, you will be on the other side of the mirror and you will not ask me this question. You will know what it means to live with the Divine. Right now, you're living on the wrong side of the mirror, seeing multiple images, a kaleidoscope happening, but you can never see yourself or the nature of your existence.
You are the first live person who has spoken of so many of these things that I have read about, and now I'm sort of restless. I want to get on with it, if you will, and I know that's my mind, and I'm not even… My experience today has been that I haven't been able to appreciate, to receive life here today. I've been anxious to move ahead to experiencing life, but I can't seem to do it myself. I can't seem to sustain it.
Now, let's look at it through like an analogy. You're living in certain prison, let's say, there's a fort around you. Initially, if the wall is big enough, it all seems to be okay. Yes? Let's say this is 50-acre land, big wall, you lived in this only all the time, you felt quite all right. But then suddenly you see up and the birds seem to be going beyond 50 acres. The wind seems to be blowing beyond 50 acres. There is something within you which gets into the madness. People around you who pretend to be sane, they all tell you, stop that nonsense, just do what you have to do here. Don't have such fancy dreams, you know. And they're telling you, the so-called worldly wise people, they're always telling you. But you cannot suppress this. If you suppress this, you will suffer. If it doesn't find expression, you will suffer. But if it seeks expression, you will suffer even more. A seeker suffers much more than others because now he knows the pain of ignorance. Most people in the world do not know the pain of ignorance. If you do not know the pain of ignorance, you have no real longing within you, isn't it? You are the kind, if you eat a pizza, you are happy. I'm not saying you should not enjoy your pizza. It's just that if you eat a pizza, you think life is fulfilled, Now you still don't know the pain of ignorance. You think by eating, sleeping or indulging in this pleasure or that pleasure, life is complete. You still do not know the pain of ignorance. The pain of ignorance should tear you apart. Then the longing to know becomes intense. If the longing to know becomes intense, it is just one moment. The reason why it seems to be so far away is simply because the necessary longing has not come. It is just off and on longing, accordingly off and on experience. If the longing becomes so intense that till I know I cannot sleep, I cannot eat, I cannot breathe, if it becomes like that, just in one moment you will know. Because what you're seeking is not sitting on the mountain or floating on the clouds, it is within you. You know, Jesus told you, though he did his initial marketing about taking you to kingdom of God, the moment enough people gathered, he turned around and said, kingdom of God is within you. If kingdom of God is somewhere, I don't care to go there, it's okay. If it's within you and you missed it, that's tragedy, isn't it? Isn't it so? If it is somewhere up in the heaven, I don't want to go there, I'm happy in Ohio, that's different. But if it's within you and you missed it, that's true tragedy, isn't it? Right now, that's the tragedy. It's right here and people are missing it. There was a time when I first came to this, if I just looked at people, I would burst into tears. Just seeing what they're missing. Right here, I am exploding with ecstasy. People are walking around with long faces, and it's there in them also, I can see it right there. But they are going about totally unaware of it. I would just cry. If I see people, tears would come. Now I got seasoned and I just laugh at them because there's no other way to handle life, you know So, one of the ways is, now there is a wall, you jump up and fall down, you have a glimpse of the outside. There are many jumping methods. We can make you jump and have you see a glimpse of it. The glimpse is shown to you because that is not the end of it, that is the inspiration. If you don't have a glimpse, then you don't have the momentum to keep it going, isn't it? Mind becomes hopeless, oh, maybe there is nothing beyond this, maybe this is all there is after all, eating, sleeping, reproducing, dying, what else is there? This is all there is to life. You'll try to convince yourself. So a little glimpse is given so that now suddenly everything here becomes stale, you want to know something there. The glimpse is only an inspiration to give you the necessary momentum to go on with life, to go on with the search and seeking. Now, jumping and looking beyond the wall was good at one time, after some time it becomes frustrating because it's just one moment looking and falling back again. So what we need to do? Now jumping is not good enough, we need to build a ladder, isn't it? I have always described yoga as a ladder to the divine. Because now you're learning how to build a ladder.
Forever, this has been a land of debate, of questions, never of commandments, especially when entities considered divine appeared, people saw it as a possibility to raise questions, to bring clarity, not to settle for a confidence that is bred out of belief. This is not about getting to a falsehood of certainty that one assumes with belief. This is about celebrating our uncertainty. This is about working for clarity, not for blind confidence. Our past is animal nature. If we become conscious enough to stay in the present, we become human. Very easily we can slip back into animal nature. Those of you just falling asleep, I'm reminding you, you just slipping back. That whether your eyes are open or closed is no more a conscious process. It just happens by itself. No. It's important that we remember that we have evolved out of animal nature. This is the time to enjoy our human nature, and this is only possible if we are conscious and in the present. If we want to be in the present, we have to be conscious. But the future is beckoning. Divine nature is beckoning us in future. This means the possibility of evolving beyond the dimensions or definitions of what we consider as human is right here for every one of us. The question is only, will we step forward or will we step backwards? Will we move into our divine possibility or will we step back into our animal past? This is a constant challenge, this is a constant possibility that human beings are struggling with. This is a night of wakefulness. Jagaran means not just wakefulness, means a night of awakening. If this is your night of awakening, we must step forward into the divine possibility, not backwards into our animal past.
The human being is swinging like a pendulum between animal nature and divine nature. This moment you're wonderful, next moment you can turn nasty. As long as the animal nature is alive in you, divinity is just a dream. Fundamental spiritual process is towards this, to dissolve the animal nature in you. So every day in the morning, for 2 minutes you're a dog, for 2 minutes you're a bird, for 2 minutes you're a snake. 6 months, you just go through this every day. Somebody pokes you, you will notice the dog doesn't growl anymore. It's been put to sleep. That needs to happen. That must happen in every human being, isn't it so? When everybody puts their dogs and cats to sleep within themselves, only then you will truly see human potential flowering, truly wonderful things happening around.
If human beings have to be well, the only way is to turn inward, because the basis of human experience is within us. Light and darkness happens within us, pain and pleasure happens within us, joy and misery happens within us, agony and ecstasy happens within us. So yoga day, what this means is, not up, not out, in is the only way out. This is the fundamental message.